Welcome to the Positive Pen Podcast, where your stories and soul work matters. Now let's dive in. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I'm John. There's Lynn. And we were just chatting back there, and I thought, well, rather than doing a whole intro, we're going to go right into it. So, how have you been?
That wasn't a picture of me in that intro. I don't know. Never been to that office of yours.
I want to apologize in advance for everybody. I have not been so online as much, so I've not been posting a lot, not because I didn't want to. It's just creativity. I kind of lost a little bit, so I'm kind of like taking a downtime, spending some time and other things. And we were talking about Substacks and how it goes up and down, and that's part of us. And I've been trying to figure out how to, on the back end, I'm trying to figure out how I can help authors along the way, which we were talking about that. And we're going to be creating some summits coming up here shortly, where we'll have authors come out and talk about writing a book, publishing a book, all these indie authors that have this wealth of information that they want to share it because it's great stuff. But also, if you're thinking about it, it's something you can reach out to them and talk to them and see how they do. And I noticed that I did not post a Remy story and a chapter. I think it was chapter 4 I missed this past week. I guess it's just because I was not creatively into it. I'm going to try to post it this Wednesday. So there's that one. And then, And then Memorial Weekend, I will not being on a podcast. We're all going to take a day off. Go enjoy yourselves. You don't need to be behind a computer or a phone. Drop it. Go. Go have fun with your family, friends.
Leave the phone at home.
Leave the phone at home.
That's what I need to do.
People, go have a barbecue. Go do things. That's the least thing I'm going to do on Memorial Day is to do a podcast, and I don't think it's fair for everybody to do the same thing. I mean, I want to wish all our veterans around the world, including the United States. I'm a Canadian, so I'll have to say also the Canadians.
Yeah, hey there.
Hey there. So anyways, I know that's been a kind of a weird intro for all of us here, but Lynn's an old friend. She's been around. We've done this a couple times, so we know we're really familiar with each other, and I want to say thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. We were talking about your experience this year, and I know we talked about your chocolate theory, but
what addiction you mean?
Your addiction. But the thing is, we kind of go through with all that. But we were really talking about this year, this last 6 months, and you've been kind of like saying it's been kind of a blah, and it's kind of like going through that same pattern of what you wrote about. In some ways, you're going through a lot of changes, and I know there's a couple of major changes that happened to you recently. And how does that affect your writing?
Well, surprisingly, I think it just makes me want to write more because life is so short and I've got so many stories. I have a list 10 miles long, maybe 15 or 100 miles long, just stories from my life that I need to organize somewhere because they're on my phone, they're in my notes app, I text myself, they're like written down on various pieces of paper. Drives me crazy. And I keep intending to organize them. And then it's like, oh, I got to write a note now. And then I have to write a post. But I just think that it makes me feel like, gosh, I really just have to keep doing this because I feel like I didn't know everything about my parents. That's maybe what you're talking about. I lost both of my parents within a little less than a year apart from each other. They were old. So it's like the classic kind of grief that you're going to lose your parents. God forbid you go before your parents. So I have the classic kind of grief going on. But anyway, I don't feel like I asked them enough questions in my life. And I know they were probably full of so many stories that I didn't even know about. And I don't want to, and then they, at the end, either because, they get a little dementia, or just my mom completely was just forgetting everything because the cancer had gone to her brain. And she was the keeper of all the stories. That she always had she'd always repeat stories about me and my childhood and embarrassing things. But anyway, so I just feel like I didn't get all of that out of them. And I don't want to, my son might not realize it now. He's only 25, that he's going to want to know stories, and maybe he doesn't feel like asking me about them, or maybe he doesn't, realize that he wants to know these stories at some point. So I'm trying to put that out there for him, really, and for myself. So I need to I certainly, was affected emotionally, and I have my grief, but I just feel more like I really need to do this for my son. And
But
really,
you also,
is what inspired me to write my very first post that I published here on Substack. And a poem came out of that, which I'm not a poet, but now I've written like a few poems since I've been here. So
that's awesome.
Thanks.
But you also, and on top of that, you also had your son go to the military. Is that right? Or yeah, he went to the, he was the Marines?
He's in the Navy. He originally wanted to go into the Marines. He wasn't really the best student. And so he had intended, he's really smart though, he really is. His intention was to go to a 2-year school in Madison where his cousin went, and he just didn't have the grades. I mean, I was surprised we weren't sure he was going to graduate high school until the very last minute, but he just was not a good student. So he's like, well, I'm going to join the Marines. And I was like, oh boy, the Marines, I don't like that at all. But he didn't want to live in my basement and go to the local community college.
Yeah.
It's like a few hours away. And my husband I was dating at the time, his good friend is in the Navy Reserves, a dentist by profession, but he's still in the reserves, and an officer. And we happened to get together with him, and he, I think, influenced my son to go into the Navy. But that has not stopped my son from wanting to do something dangerous. So he's been trying to get into SWCC, which is Special Warfare Craft Crewman, the Navy SEALs, for insertion and extraction of the damn Navy SEALs. And I'm like, oh my God, I just can't get away from it. I didn't even want this kid playing with guns. He did not get any guns as a child until it just had to happen. And now he buys guns. He's like, look at my gun that I have. And he's shooting, machine
Mom, you
guns.
deprived him. That's the problem.
I guess. It's just like, what the hell? Anyway, you have no control. So I haven't talked to my kid for about a month now because he got busy one weekend and then he went off grid for a couple weeks, and I haven't talked to him since. And I'm like, I haven't seen him since December. So that's another form of grief that I have for my son. I mean, he's alive, he's well, he's happy, he loves what he's doing. So I love that, but I don't like the distance. He lives across the country, and I don't see him. You have this dream, you have these kids, and then they're going to grow up and they're going to live next door and have Sunday dinner with you, and you'll raise, be there for their kids, and you're going to be a grandparent. And yeah.
No.
My only kid, I should have had more.
I should have, likewise, I should have like 15. No, just kidding. At least I would have something to look forward to, other than these kids and all over the place. Yeah, my son graduated last week or 2 weeks ago from Pitt. So that was cool.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But he's still figuring himself out. And the same thing with my other one. He lives in Vancouver now, and the daughter lives locally. But they're all doing their own thing. I think at the age of 20, they don't really they don't care. Like, they care about themselves. It's all egotistic. It's all about
Absolutely.
them, whatever goes on. And I think that's the hardest part for a parent to realize. But I go back. I was in my 20s and I was doing the stupid things too. I mean, I didn't
Oh, yeah.
pay attention to my parents. My parents probably wanted more time with me and all that, and I wanted less of them.
I'm pretty sure I saw my parents once a month, and I was a good daughter. I called them. Not that it means it's not good, but I talked to them every week at minimum.
No, I didn't call.
My whole life.
I didn't call. If I did, it was like, oh yeah, I got a better call. So I did call, but it was not I wasn't consistent. I wasn't consistent. And sometimes it bothers me now since my father has passed away.
Yeah.
That kind of bothers me. Mom, that's another story sometimes. But no, it's kind of hard when you're like 3,000 miles away. It's a little different. And I can see it challenging because you kind of go live your own life and you have your own world, and you kind of like you start getting friends, you start doing things, and you start getting this build new life. It's just a little harder to kind of just sit there and say, oh, by the way, I need to call my mom, or I'm going to call my dad. And if you don't have that strong relationship, I don't think you're going to do that as often. But
yeah, it's well, the cool thing is I think when my son first got into the Navy, it was really like pulling teeth to be in contact with him. Oh, I'm busy, or I'd text him and I'd hear nothing. But I think I kind of want to say, and I don't know if he would say the same, but it seems like since my dad passed away last April, that he's been in more contact. And then just the recent couple of months, we've been having these FaceTimes with him on Sundays. And I don't know if it helps him to be on the phone with us because he's got all these tedious things that he has to do in this training. Like he's got to clean the sand out of like these little things and put labels on his clothes and different things like that. And it's like watching the Truman Show. It's been so cool. Like we'll be cooking dinner. He's doing his thing. You see him like he goes into, he's not even saying what he's doing. Like we'll be talking. Next thing you know, he's in his bathroom and he starts shaving his head because he has to keep his head shaven.
Yeah.
And, he's doing this. There was no warning about him. Just like, okay, now we're watching Ethan shave his head. And then another time we just see the corner of his head and the ceiling fan above. And he's like doing something. I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm doing my scratch off tickets. He got a bunch of scratch off lottery tickets. Then the next thing you know, he's vacuuming up the shavings from the scratch off tickets. Just like, I didn't know he was going to start vacuuming, but it's just, and sometimes we're just sitting there, not even saying anything. Like we're eating our dinner and he's putting together a table or something like that. And we literally, I think once we were on the phone for 4 hours. So now that I haven't talked to him for a month, it's like, I miss my Ethan show. But it's hard. It's like, you want your kids to be out there in the world. That's our job, to give them these wings. But then you're like, if only I didn't teach him to get up early and catch the worms, he'd still be here living in the basement playing video games. But no, that wouldn't be good. So
no, I really prefer the independent and going out and doing that kind of, because you gotta teach them to grow on their own, because you don't want them to be a burden on society. That's the least.
No, definitely not.
And that's been a challenge, raising kids, because some of them tend to go sideways, and it's been, it's hard. It's not easy.
Right.
But the cool thing about it is that he wanted the connection, and that's huge, regardless how it was. Imperfect, perfect, but I think it was the perfect moments that you guys shared. You're able to tell stories now, and that's the whole point. That's cool. That's really nice of him to do that. That was huge. Yeah.
Well, when he was little too, I think it was about 8. We'd have these little campouts. He'd sleep on the floor next to the bed, and I would tell him stories from my childhood, and we would just be cracking up. I'd tell him about like cleaning out the pens at the farm where I never wanted to live, and all these things, you know. So I know he enjoyed it back then, and that sort of also inspires me to put these stories out there, because he did enjoy them at one time. So one day, hopefully Substack doesn't crash. We got to make sure we back up our stories somewhere else. That's another piece of the organization that I get to, is save all these things, like copy and paste it back into my computer so I don't lose these things forever.
You know, that's a good thing. I don't really save all my stories.
No,
But the ones I actually, like my books, those are the ones I save. Like,
well, yeah.
I'll
And now
draft
you have a book.
Now I have a book, you know, but it takes like, you know, when you go down that path, it takes, you know, was a few weeks, you know, a few months, you know, because I do my book on my Substack, then I edit and then I get it out of there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't really save all my stories. Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's a good thing to do.
It may be, but you know, I don't know. The other thing I was thinking about maybe is because I was going to do, like, every Monday, I was going to create a story about philosophy, about life. And I was going to take those stories and create a 52-week book and just go that way. That's what I was thinking of doing. That's an option. And then, like, take the top stories maybe or whatever, and then create that as like an inspirational thing or something like that, turn that into a book, and not really do much editing, just basically copy and paste and just put it done. So that was that one. So I was thinking about doing that way.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I think about publications more than just Substack. And then there's a couple other things I was thinking about. But yeah, this couple of weeks have been kind of coming on a funk. I don't know why. Just not, there was nothing heavy. It just kind of, sometimes you just don't feel like writing. And I've
been there more than once, that's for sure.
And how do you, I mean, I'm not saying I know how to get out of the rut, but I just don't want to do it.
You don't have to. You'll get out of it, you know, it just kind of, it's like laying in a pool of water. Eventually you're going to float to the top and climb out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's just getting to a rhythm again and get going.
Right.
But I'm sure we all experience that. It's not like that we, you know, everybody thinks, oh, because you're posting X amount. Like, yeah, I write a lot and I post a lot, but then there's some days where I just don't want to respond. Not that I mean, because sometimes there's like 100 responses or 100 notifications, then you have to go through them and respond. Like, I try to respond to every single one of them, and that's hard.
I don't have as many subscribers. And my engagement is kind of flatlined a little bit.
Oh, so why do you think that's the case?
If I knew, I'd tell you, believe me. It's been since the end of the year ish.
Yeah.
And that's around the time I wrote the religion, my raised in a weird religion part 2 post. And then I thought, oh, maybe it's because I just wrote about religion and maybe I turned some people off. And it just kind of like stagnated. But then I read the algorithm's different. My notes weren't getting as much engagement. And I just posted something recent. I created this image in AI. It came out pretty amazing, of this circus monkey sitting at the computer, because I've been feeling like a fucking circus monkey trying to figure out
that you know what, that's exactly what it is. Like, I feel like I was performing versus just enjoying it, and that's where I had to take a break from things, because I just didn't feel like I was. It's not that I don't want to do it. It's just there was a lot, and I can understand on your side. You're getting frustrated. Like, why is like you're pounding the keyboard and you keep posting and posting. You're like, why is nothing growing?
Still like writing the same kind of stuff. It's not like I'm doing anything so different.
So that, that's really, this is really interesting.
But I did write about a couple grief things, and I had a 2-part thing about my mom, you know, the last year of my mom's life, and just like the whole things that happened leading up to her dying. And then I thought, well, I wonder if people are going to think I'm a grief writer. And then I wrote a post about, no, I'm not a grief writer. This is only temporary. And then everybody's like, just write what you want. It doesn't matter. We'll be here, you know. So it's because I'm supposed to just be writing for my son. And that's why I'm trying to keep my perspective on that. I'm just writing for my son. If I get some subscribers, great. You know,
that was the other thing is I was like, it's opposite. You're the opposite of that I am right now. I'm in that little weird mood, kind of like, yeah, I'm not into it. And then you're in this thing trying to figure it out. I don't think there is a right way or wrong way of doing this. I think I think there's a flow. I want you to feel comfortable doing. That's great. That's fun. But yeah, like it's just one of those things. I don't think you can. I mean, when I looked at Substack itself and trying to figure it out how to beat the system, that's when I always failed.
Yeah, that's when the frustration comes. And really, I don't know, because then people will say, read different things. Oh, your notes should be stories, and that's the only way people are going to find you is through your notes. And I hate that part. Like, I wish, like, why can't they make it so people find you based on what you're writing about in your post, not what you're writing about in your notes? If that's even the case, I don't know, but it's just ridiculous.
I don't know. I write about, I mean, I know I wrote something about being heavy, I think yesterday or something like that, and got some great responses. But I don't know how it relates to my stories.
That's the thing. I don't know if there's rhyme or reason to it. A lot of people like my circus monkey thing, but that wasn't really a story.
I got to look. Well, you put that as a note or a story?
It was a note.
A note. And you're saying it was just recently?
Yeah. It got a few restacks.
I have to look at this. Well, you got a huge number of people. And you're doing podcasts. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Where is the monkey? Must be right down.
It was a few days ago, I think.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Hearts used to fly in just a moment after I hit publish. Yeah, that's actually, you know what? That's not bad analogy.
And now I sit there, I'm like, why isn't anybody liking my post? It's an addiction.
Oh yeah. And I think that's where I'm at.
I got it. Like, somebody take this away. Oh, there's my dad. Hi, Dad.
Oh.
This damn phone is, I actually took the Substack app off my phone, and then I would just easily put it back on. And I like to listen, like if I'm washing the dishes, I'll listen to people's posts. I like that feature. So not having the Substack app on my phone, I couldn't listen while I'm doing dishes and on workouts and things like that.
No, I listen to a lot of the stories. I don't, I mean, I skim through a lot of them, but I also I listen to a lot of stories, and you can get through pretty quick a lot of this. It's probably the easiest thing to do on Substack is just listen to stories. If they actually, I remember one time when that actually started enabling it, it wasn't available for everybody. It was just available to a certain number of people. Like you had to reach an X amount. I don't know if it's true. You had to reach something to get to get that. Now I don't know if
somehow I've always had it as part of mine. Somehow.
That's awesome. I remember someone asking me, and I said, "Yeah, just go here, and just get it going." And and you know, create your own AI voice and everything. I actually admire anyone that actually reads.
I know.
I'm like, wow.
For that. I already have trouble enough. It's like I feel like I need to maybe get a full-time job. I'll have more time for Substack. The amount you do is just like mind-boggling. And you
but you know what I've learned why they do that though? is that so they can do audiobooks on the side.
Oh,
And so they use those recordings as samples.
wow. Okay. Well, that's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
my mouth would get too tired.
I would I would stumble. I'd be like, this is not fun.
Yeah.
I'm not a very structural person that in that sense. Like I would love the ad lib and all this. That's why people say, well, why don't you just read your own stories? And I was like, you don't understand. It's not fun. I mean, I read, don't get me wrong, I read my stories, but to read it, to hear my own voice, I don't know. This doing podcasts is much easier for me than reading and doing an audiobook.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't
Yeah.
think. Now, if I can get my voice created and do an AI, that's a
Maybe.
different that's
Yeah.
a possibility there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I tried that a couple times. AI has not been so good, not so good yet, but I'm sure it's going to get there really, really fast. It's going to spit out faster than stuff than we can
Oh,
ever.
it's crazy. I should have my husband do one for me because he can do all these different accents and impersonations, and that could be kind of fun. He actually did a little snippet in one of my posts about public speaking, but I don't know if he used an Australian voice or his own voice. But anyway, that could be kind of fun. Have him do one, but he doesn't have that kind of time.
Yeah. I mean, we could. I mean, I actually hire people to do it when I go through KDP through Amazon, and we do. And there, I actually have one book out there that has not been picked up yet to do an audio, like a reading.
Okay.
And I'm actually, because I'm really picky about it, because the people that have actually been auditioning are like, you could hear their voice. They're like 100 years old. I'm not trying to be rude. It's like 100 years old, and it's not available in audio. And I kind of like really just wish I could make it into that. But
What do you pay for something like that?
well, so in that situation, you can do share revenue. So every time and that actually, and it doesn't really work as well because you're supposed to promote it, and they're supposed to promote it, but they don't promote it. So you're really stuck promoting it. And I'm okay with that as long as they understand they're getting 50-50, nothing else up front. Or you can even pay for it. And then that's a difference. There's like 3 levels. There's sharing, royalty, whatever. And then you have to pick, then you can even take that audio and then post it elsewhere because Amazon doesn't like you sharing. So you have to take that audio, move it to somewhere else. It gives you permission to do that, but you get a reduction in your revenue. So yeah, but there's other sites out there that actually offer that service.
Pretty cool.
But there's a charge. There's like maybe I think it's like $40 or $50 an hour, and they'll do all the editing. They'll make sure it's all prime, ready to go, and put it up. And if they're not used to doing that, that's pretty easy. But I always try to get all my books all my books are hard copy, soft copy, ebook, and in audio.
Mm-hmm.
Do all formats because some people like a hard cover and they don't care what the expense is because they like to keep a thing going. Someone just wants to buy the paperback and they'll just read it and probably give it away and pass it on because that's usually the cheapest one to do. And then ebook, I think that's just an easier thing for people just to jump on and read really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And because they're heavy readers, so they have a little tablet and they got things going.
Yeah, I've got my Kindle. I do all my reading Kindle.
I used to have a Kindle. That doesn't work as well as I did, but that was like 10 years ago. And then the audio is, I think, that's why I love Substack on that version where you can listen just to stories and, you can buzz through 10 pretty fast if that is available. And then you can really hum along the way. And 10 stories is like maybe 2-3 minutes each.
What would be cool is if they let you set up like hey, I want 1 hour's worth of stories to listen to. Like if I go for a bike ride, I'm out there for an hour. It'd be cool if I have it, because I can't be looking and finding things while I'm riding my bike. I already ran into a grove of trees once because I was looking at my phone. I'm not kidding. It was a dead end. I didn't realize. I'm like, oh shit! Thank God I looked up. So that would be a great feature for Substack to have that, like, 15 stories in a row. Boom, 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 boom.
That's actually. You should write that story.
I might have to. See, now I got to find a piece of paper. I'm gonna be like Ray. Did you ever see Ray Rayner, or was that just a Chicago thing? Probably.
Ray Rayner.
Yeah, you're younger than me anyway, so.
Well,
it was a kids show, and he had Post-it notes all over his jumpsuit.
Oh no, I didn't remember. No, I didn't get to see that one. No, mine were. Was it Mr. Rogers?
Mm-hmm.
Then there was another one. It was a Canadian thing, and he was an old man with the trains, similar to Mr. Rogers, but he had his train puppets and all that. Mm-hmm. And then there was the clown. I forgot the guy's name.
We had Bozo.
Bozo was one of them. Yeah. Bozo. Yeah. So you're in Canada. Sometimes we were able to. We had the Seattle. I lived in Vancouver, so we had the Seattle stations. We were able to see the Seattle stations. Sometimes whatever they carried,
mm-hmm.
they were able to do that.
So Bozo Circus was part of what you could see. That was a Chicago show, or maybe there was another Bozo out in the world.
No, Bozo was carried on a couple channels.
Oh, or a couple. I actually went to that show in person.
Oh, you did? Wow.
Mm-hmm. I almost got picked for the grand prize game. The arrow went right above my head.
Wow.
I know.
I don't remember much of it, like, because it was on and it was off for some reason. I don't remember. Like, I think it was late 60s, early 70s, and that was it. That's all. I mean,
that might have been the only time it was around. I don't know.
Yeah, I know there was a few reruns, and that was it. And I don't think I got into that anymore. Saturday mornings was wrestling.
Oh, gosh. I was watching Bunny.
Well, because my dad was into wrestling, so it was like 11 o'clock was All-Star Wrestling, and we had like all these people, like we would hover around the TV around 11 o'clock, I think it came on, and that's when we would watch wrestling as our Saturday mornings.
Okay.
And from there, we got kicked out of the house because Mom was cleaning the house, so it was like.
And you didn't have to help?
No, we had to help. So we would run around, clean up everything.
And you went away.
And then my dad would say, "Oh, it's time to go."
Oh, well, good. Go hang out with Dad. Get out of the house cleaning.
He would say, "Oh, it's time to go."
Nice.
We'll get in the van and we would go visit family or his brother or my uncle, my aunt, whatever he decided to do. It was an adventure every Saturday because it all depends. Because if you didn't play any sports on Saturday morning, because typically go play soccer or something like that or baseball, and when you're in between seasons, that was sort of pretty cool. Yeah, he would get us get a haircut Saturday mornings because that was his time. Then we'd go to the Italian store, which was a great deli, which would get Italian sandwiches and things like that. Yeah, so that was cool. And then if we had a chance, he would go have coffee with relatives and all this kind of stuff. It was then hanging out with him. It was during the September season where all the greats would come into town, and they would come on semis from California, and they would come up and they would park. And my dad always got like 100 crates of grapes.
Did he make his own wine?
made us. We made the wine, not just he.
Really?
We did.
Oh,
Yeah, and then he would stack them up in the garage, and bugs would come in, the wasp were all over the place, and we would sit there, and he says, "Okay, this Saturday, we're gonna start making wine. Now you guys got to be there. You can't just blah blah blah." He would just give us this huge lecture, right? So Saturday rolls in, and he's out there grinding the things. He goes, "All right, guys, get involved." So my brother and I, we would grab the crates, go up there, and we crank hang shaft this thing to kind of grind all the grapes. We just like this all day long, grind, grind,
huh.
grind, grind, grind. And we would go, and then he was like, then he would act like the foreman. He would, "You guys are not grinding hard enough." So we would grinding. And he's saying this all in Italian. So
Oh, wow. That's
he's
cool.
cussing in Italian, telling us in Italian. And then from there, we would like have.
Can
Like,
you say what he said?
oh yeah. I can't say it on here though.
Oh, come on. I used the F word. Come on.
Well, yeah, but I want to be nice about it. No, but so it was like 6 barrels, and my mom always said, "I don't care how many red wines you make, but you got to make some white wine." So the one barrel was always from my mom for cooking, was the white wine.
Okay.
And
was she Italian too?
Oh yeah, we are full-blood Italians.
Okay.
And the problem is, my dad at the other house had this great cantina, which was the cellar, and it was nice and cool. It kept the wine cool. Great wine, beautiful wine. So he decided to move because he wanted to move away from the neighborhood and go to another home, which was fine. But he built the cantina, or the cellar, and it was horrible. The wines always went bad.
After all that work. Shoot.
It was like disaster sometimes. Like, not all the wine went to vinegar, but a good chunk of it went to vinegar. And then he finally kind of like figured something out, and then he got wine. He started making more wine, and then but so the northern Italians, one of the things they did with the carcass of the grapes, they would hold it and they would press it down and get the remaining wine out of the like the stems and all that, because it was stuck in there. And they would press it down, and you press it almost for 7 days until you get everything going. Oh yeah, and you crank it every day.
Wow.
Yeah, and it would crank until you couldn't crank it down any further. And then that wine went into the barrels, and it got mixed up with the other ones. Then the what was remaining went into plastic bags, plastic ones, and we left in the garage. And then by the time he was able to sort everything out, it was almost like Christmas time, because it was like winemaking took like 4 or 5 months. It wasn't something you do like overnight. It was a long process.
Yeah.
And then he would grab the remains of the grapes, and he would make moonshine out of it.
Oh,
and that's actually grappa. They have, in a proper word in Italian, called grappa. And I remember the first time we made grappa, he was like, "Close the curtains," because he was worried about someone calling him out. And then he would sit there and he would make it, and he would spend the whole day making grappa. I mean,
wow,
like gallons and like, I wouldn't say gallons and gallons, but a gallon of grappa out of 100 crates of grapes. That's how much he made.
And did he sell that, or was it just?
Oh no, he didn't sell. So those are the ones who make grappa, which is more in the northern part of Italy. It's almost like grapes. You have your own taste, you have your own flavors. And on top of that, you could put like rosemary in it, you could put basil in it. Some people put like oak in it to change the chase, but they'll never change the color. They just change. It was always white. And the difference, depending on the flavor, they change the flavor. So one time my dad did peach.
Okay.
And grappa, and they would do cherry and grappa, and that was.
How many bottles would he end up with, though?
Oh, he had about, I'd say 5 gallons.
And then would he give it out as gifts, or was he?
No, he never gave it out gifts.
You like
That
his
was
line.
his treasure. It was like his treasure. No way.
Mm-hmm.
No, he kept that. He kept it hid. He held on to it. Now, when families came over, he broke it out and
Sure.
served it that way. But no, typically it was more a coffee dessert type of liquor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not good with hard liquor like that.
No, when the way you shaked, that's exactly how it is when you're drinking it. It's like, yeah, it's gasolina.
Yeah, it makes your eyes water when you drink it.
It numbs your throat.
Yeah.
No, it
I,
wasn't that great. Yeah. No, it was good. Actually, it was good.
those are some fun memories, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, it's all about it. Yeah, and it's sad you can't really pass on those stories to your kids, and you want to pass on those stories, but how do you pass on stories like that? I don't know. And you're right, you have to figure a way to do it on Substack.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it keeps. Hopefully people can come find it. Hopefully that Substack doesn't go away one day. I mean, you're right. I wish there was a way to download everything you've uploaded.
That would be another feature. We need to write these Substack people.
Yeah, you start that petition.
Because I have an app that I use that allows me to do searches of notes. That's how I wrote the post about my mom. Because over the last year, I had written just different things that happened, not all like death and dying kind of notes, but just about, the holidays and my nephew serenading her basically, and she cried. Just different points along the year, which we didn't even think she'd last that long. And then I was posting when, at the very end, mom fell again, this happened, that happened. And I was able to search for all those notes. And then I went through them. I had to cut them down. That's basically, then I turned all those notes into one post by date. I went through by date and, just shared all of it.
You have an app that actually looks for stuff like that?
Yeah, I can search.
What, in Substack or in a
No,
different?
it's a separate app. It's WriteStack. I can send you the link. I get a little something if I send you the link and you end up signing up for it. So I'll send you a link.
Okay, yeah.
But no, it's a great feature. So I originally signed up for it because you can schedule notes there, but now you don't, and I don't do that often. I thought I would use that feature a lot, but I actually occasionally I do, and then I'll forget that here's a note that I just forgot that I scheduled.
So the whole thing about that is to find common stories or posts that you can create a story out of it.
Yeah. And, and it also, you can look at top performing notes and sort them by top performing by number of likes, top performing for number of subscriptions that came off of that note. So it's got all of those metrics, and he's constantly, I'm the one that told him, because it's a guy that his name's Oral, Aorel, and he created this app, and he's very good. Like, it's got some bugs still because it's fairly new, but he's right there in the chat. Like, if I have a problem, like, hey, there's a problem here, he fixes it pretty quickly unless he's out of town or something. Wow. But I suggested that he add the search feature because I thought that would be, because, I hate scrolling through all my Substack notes because I'll think, oh gosh, that would make a great post. Now, where the heck is it? Because there's, all these notes I've already written, and it's just hard to search through them. So now he's got the search feature because I suggested it. I told him he should give me
for that. Yeah, no, that's actually not a bad idea, because someone asked me about, because last year, as I was building out my store, one of the things that someone brought to my attention is like, why don't you put your top 12 posts? Because they're really good posts. Why don't you create like a post, like something up like this, like and there's a quote there and it has the picture, and they say, well, why can't you do something like that where I like to have it and just buy it, and that'd be kind of cool to
Oh,
just to see it, right?
yeah.
And I thought, well, okay, that's cool. So I did play around with it, but you're right. It is hard to go back and look for your notes.
It's
Like
nearly impossible, especially when you're restacking other people's stuff.
oh yeah.
And that doesn't necessarily show up in this app, which is good because I don't necessarily need to see those. But yeah, so that's a great feature, and he's always adding new features. There's also an activity dashboard. So, and I don't use that either because I forget about it because I'm in Substack and I'm not over there. But I want to use that more, and I think it'll come in handier like when I have a million subscribers. So everything will be in one spot. So you don't miss a comment. Like it'll show you all the ones that you still haven't responded to.
Yeah, that's what I hate, because I know why I left so many comments in the last couple of weeks.
Well, I found some that Substack didn't notify me about. That some posts that went back to like 20 posts ago or something. I'm like, wow, how did I miss that? But it was right there in the app. So
you know what, you're right. I do find the ones that I don't get notified. Like they're either the person who restacked me and made a comment. I don't see it. But yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Substack wants to buy this guy's app at some point, because these are some features that really would come. I mean, we have our, I guess, kind of do we have an activities center in Substack? Not really. Where you can just see all comment. I mean, you just see your notifications, then you got to go through them one by one.
Well,
and you have to filter out, like, this is just a like, this is a comment. I mean, it's so much easier to look at this screen on this app.
I don't think so. Your post, your actual post.
Yeah, you have to go individually.
Yeah.
And I know you have the notification thing, but that can be a whole mix of stuff that you might not need to respond to. So yeah, I'll give you the link, and then you can include my link on your post, or you can have your own link. There'll be your next revenue stream for you. And I'm going to tell Oral I talked about him on this.
You should. You should. Yeah, I didn't know that existed. That's number one. Number two, I mean, I could see when you're trying to sort things out really quick. That's cool. And I like how you used it in a sense of, what are the common themes that I'm writing? Maybe I can create a post out of it. And that's cool. Because scrolling back through, like, because I remember I go to myself, man, I wrote some great posts. Like, where is it? And I can't find it. And sometimes I find the end of Substack.
Oh my gosh.
You can't go any further.
Me, that would take forever.
Well, what I mean is, like, sometimes you're scrolling and scrolling because you're looking for stuff, and all of a sudden I think what happens is it's not populating fast enough from scrolling.
And if you happen to walk away and your screen goes to the screensaver, it goes back to the beginning. You can spend hours trying to find one thing. So yeah, you can curate all these notes on one topic, because I've on the fly written about grief, and I've had little, like in notes, little poems about grief, and I should probably put my own tag on there on those notes so that I can look them up that much easier. Grief, this is a grief note, so because I want to put those into a post at some point, all these little poems that I've written.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I know there's some features I'm missing, but.
Well, I think the hard part is on Substack is that you're posting about your stuff, and then you got to help collaborate with other people to get going, so your Substack is activated. And I think that is the hardest thing to do.
Yes, I've been kind of taking a little step back on that and you do a lot of that, supporting other people. And thank you very much, because you've reposted a ton of my stuff. But my brain starts exploding sometimes. And then I'm spending all my time doing that. And I know it helps me, but I don't want to just do it because it helps me. But I also do it because I like certain people, what people are posting. So it's not like I'm just doing it for myself.
Right.
But I need to find a better balance. And do you know Patty B? She's
I've
a
probably,
great writer. Patty
she
B.
what?
E. She's a great writer on Substack.
Okay.
So I actually talked to her on the phone in real life. And I was talking to her because I noticed she gets a lot of engagement on her notes and her posts, but yet she's not posting a note every day. She's not posting like notes ad nauseum. So I was picking her brain, just like I felt like maybe I'm spending too much time doing this. So I was then like, I was just then going to just limit myself. I have a problem. Like I was posting notes because I just feel like, well, I have things that I think of to write about during the day and I don't have a job. So what else am I going to do? That and work out and take a shower occasionally and then make my food.
Occasionally. What is that? What is that smell, honey? That's okay. I'm like day 4 without showering.
It's like I really don't have to be working so hard. I want to be working more hard at writing. So I'm done, like I'm writing the posts, not like working so hard writing these notes, but the notes are valuable too. So I'm just trying to like find the right balance. So she's like, yeah, I just write like one note a day and I make it like a good note. Like it's not like I am trying to always write a good note. It's not like, hey, this is a good note, but here I'm going to write this one. It's not so good, but I'm going to put it out there anyway. But just like trying to find that perfect balance so that I also get some growth out of it and ultimately still have time to write my posts, which is really why I came here. I don't want to get all caught up in the notes. I was getting so sick of the notes. Like you're talking about being stuck or, feeling like, oh, I don't feel like writing. And I'm sitting here like, I told her, okay, I'm just going to now just write one note a day. And what did I do? 3 days later, I wrote 4 notes. I just can't stop.
So, I was writing, so I was doing notes quite often there for a bit. And I would come across a picture and I would be like, oh, this is cool. And I would post it. And I would come across, I don't know, sometimes it's on my Microsoft desktop. Sometimes I might be on Twitter. Sometimes I might come across something else.
Right.
Sometimes I'm just like playing around with AI and I'm just playing and I'm like, oh, this is cool. And sometimes they're my pictures.
I don't know how you have time to work like in your real job.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you're playing, that's a different story because now you're experimenting, right? That's just because I'm an artist by heart, so I do love creating stuff. So, and when I'm able to create things, then I get really excited, and I post, and then a lot of people are like going, "Well, where do you get your pictures?" And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I might find them on X. I might find them on the internet. I might find them through simple passing through. Sometimes I go into, Substack uses Unsplash. Sometimes you go on Splash to find some great pictures there. Or sometimes I'm thinking about something and I create it and then I go through that. Now, I haven't posted my morning post for a while because I've kind of got, I don't know.
Burnt out?
I don't know if it's burnt out. It's just more, I'm just not inspired.
That could be the same as burnt out in a way.
Yeah, but I'm still creating different ways. I'm not creating.
Okay. Maybe you're just done with that phase. Maybe.
But I would still do them. The thing I'm thinking about when you're talking about creating a post, so when someone asked me one time, and I said, well, you got to post what you like to do or what you like. Don't post because people are posting something. You post because you like it. Get authentic, get as much as possible. So, and the reason why I say what I was saying all that was because I like creating. So I created a picture. So I created a story behind it and I post that.
Right.
Sometimes I would talk about my morning thing, and that would be my post. Sometimes I would do something and I would create a post, and that's how that started. It wasn't started from, and the story really is wrapped around that picture one way or another.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
what
notes.
it's what I'm trying to do is as mini story. And I used to do that through the post on Substack. I used to write quotes on there. I would post on there. And then I thought, well, that's just way too much work, and because you got to schedule it, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And that's way before really notes came into play. And then now when notes came, then I started experimenting. So when she says she posts one good post per day,
One note, yeah.
one note per day.
Not even every day, though. I mean, she would just do one, maybe when she was inspired to. It's not even a schedule, and not even every day.
And that's probably what it is. I mean, I don't, there's no magic formula. Like, I'll give you an example. There's this person that I know. She was started January 1st. She's at over 1,200 subscribers, and she posts irregularly. Like,
Wow.
I'm talking about, she may post a note and she may not post a note for a couple of weeks. She may write an article and she doesn't post for a couple of weeks. But
Interesting.
her articles are authentic, it's
Mhm.
real, and it's solid. And it's usually coming from a moment of passion. And she just, puts it out there.
Right.
And people love it. So I don't think there's a formula. I think what it is, it's coming more truly to your authentic self. The more authentic you are, the more it resonates. The less it looks like commercialized. I guess that's what it is. I didn't want to be more. I feel like I was being more commercialized, and I was trying to get away from it. So that's why I stopped posting, because I just felt commercialed. And I was also working on some other things. And so I was a little distracted on other things I needed to focus on than Substack. But I think that's where it is. Like, if you are authentic about what you're putting out there, I think you're going to resonate.
Yeah, and I think I kind of got caught up in some of these tutorial when I first got into Substack, I didn't know what I was doing. So I'd read articles about Substack, how do you get more readers, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of those people, I think, were also selling things. So this is what works for us. Do X number of notes a day, then make sure you like 10 of them and comment on 50 things. And I'm like, what in the hell am I doing here? So I got caught up in all of that, like, here's what you should do. And I got away from, I'm here to write.
Yeah, so that formula works.
There's a formula.
Well, that formula works on X.
Mm-hmm.
So if you really want to push content and earn money, you have to post at least one post per half an hour.
Wow.
Yeah, to generate things, because you need 5 million impressions. Once you reach over 5 million impressions, you're going to start getting paid.
One every half hour. That's a lot.
Yeah,
I was back in the day of Twitter. I was a Twitteraholic, and I actually became an influencer back in the old influencer way of it was all about green content, environmental stuff, and I was I had quite a number of followers, and I came in 4th in the Shorty Awards. I don't know if they even exist anymore. But that was like a worldwide thing in this category. It wasn't like of all, Twitter, but it was in the green category. I came in 4th. So I was there quite often, but not, I don't think every 30 minutes. And I didn't make any money doing it. It wasn't like that kind of an influencer like we
Well,
have.
I was making money there. I was making at least $100 to $150 a month. But, you're posting constantly. I mean, it was
that seems like you're not making that much per hour.
No, but a lot of them were making.
It's helping you to get subscribers.
Yeah. Well, what happened was, the more you post, the more impressions you got.
Okay.
It was based on impressions. It wasn't based on subscribers or followers. It was based on impressions. And the more impressions you got, the higher the volume. So then those impressions turn into followers, and then their followers. And then the more you got that, then you were able to peak up. And then there's a subscription base, which I set that up for $1 a month back in the day, because I was thinking, if it ever hits over 10,000, which I'm close to, but I mean, like, but you got to talk about politics there. That's the only way that thing that moves. Because I post my own stuff on there for, like, I'll use a post here and I'll post it over there.
Yeah, I do occasionally. Like, I'll forget to go over there.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to.
No,
I don't
I
even
do
think it's any traffic. I don't even know.
Your friend, if he's able to integrate all those platforms into one and post that way, oh my God, pass that on to him.
Well, like Hootsuite does that.
Yeah, but it's.
But I don't know. I haven't used that in years.
I was thinking about that, and that is actually expensive. It used to be pretty cheap.
I haven't been there for a long time.
Yeah, but the thing is, even when I post my pictures and comment, it gets no traction.
Yeah, I that's probably why I don't really go over there. I get some traffic from Facebook.
Facebook, I'm still.
Probably Instagram, I don't know.
No, but I broke 100 this year, so 100 followers. But even that, I don't get much traction unless I dump it into groups and all that. The one thing I wish Substack did was able to create groups. In
that would be cool.
And that would be kind of like, but I also don't want to be a Facebook, and I don't want to be a Twitter. And I think if you think about it, it's against all those people who turn around and say, oh, you got to buy this, you got to buy this, you got to buy this. And it doesn't work because they're just selling a course. They're applying the methodology or the training or whatever they got from over here, and they're trying to apply it here, and it's not working. And people are seeing that, and you're feeling it. I'm feeling it. What works is whatever you do is you, whatever that it looks like, it's all about you. And I think that's where these individuals that are not listening to everybody and they're just posting when they want to post is actually in their favor. And I think that's why Substack might be a little bit more different than these are over here. So I don't know. That's just my theory. But you can't post. I mean, you can, some say, well, you got to post like 5 a day and respond to 5 or whatever. But that's a lot of work.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of stepping back and not doing what they say that you're supposed to do, whoever they are, and just do what inspires me.
Yeah, but who are they? Like, that's the problem. Like, who are they to say that their stuff? Like, I'll tell you now, a majority of those people, those large accounts, are fake subscribers. They do not have a subscriber base. There's no way that if you go in, like,
how do you create that many fake subscribers?
Well, you could buy a list and dump it into your file.
Oh,
you could upload it and just dump it in. What I'm saying is that you can get, like, I have mailing lists. I can get the 1,000, 5,000, whatever, and easily dump it into my Substack. It allows me to do that. And so if you have a mailing list from all your social medias and able to dump it into your Substack, now you can become a huge follower, a big, huge influencer on Substack. So, I mean, organically, we're growing naturally, like we're doing it a natural way. But if you even look if you go into your subscriber base and you see, like, there's like 5 stars, I think it is 5 stars or 4 stars.
Yeah, I've seen that where you can see who's
more active, not active.
Right.
The ones that are not 0, they don't have any color to it. They're the ones that have never opened up your email, have never been on your page. They're just sitting there dormant. And Substack,
look, I don't want to know.
And Substack will punish you for having dormants.
Really?
In so many words, because what happens is it tells your engagement rate goes down. So you got to remember, it's based on your engagement rate. So what happens is if you have I don't know, maybe 50% of your Substack is active and 50% are inactive.
Mm-hmm.
Stack is saying to you is you're really not growing account.
Right.
No one's really engaging you. That's why you see your engagement goes down. Like my open rate was over 40% when I had 250 people subscribe.
Yeah, I had a much higher open rate before.
Now I'm down in the 20s.
Me too. And I
Because
didn't know if that was like a Substack thing or just when you have more.
it's a Substack. So what people have been doing is they've been going back into their Substack and actually getting rid of those dead weights to help with engagements.
Okay.
Now, that tells you your subscriber base goes down, but your engagement goes up.
Interesting. Well, that's a nice nifty trick.
Well, it's a double-edged sword too. You lose all those subscribers like you've lost, and you know, the idea is to attract them back or bring them back somehow. How do you do that? Don't know. I mean, there's really not an easy way to bring them.
I guess you could set up an email just to the inactive people and just say in the subject line, damn it, open this email. And then hopefully they open it. Boom, your engagement goes right up. I'm going to try that.
You're going to win $1 million by just opening this email.
Mm-hmm. Yes. It's the publisher's clearinghouse. You've been chosen as a winner.
So, wow, we've been around. Wow, we've been talking about a lot of stuff. So let's try to bring this in. So as we're talking about all this stuff, how do you feel what do you think your next stage is in the next couple of months? Like, what do you think you're going to be?
I'm going to have some guest posts. Maybe not like every week, because I only post every week, but or who knows, maybe I'll change to twice a week. Right now I'm going to stick to once a week. I got to slow down here. So I'm going to, like, that's why I don't know if you saw it. In fact, I saw you like the comment, but I put a thing out there, like, who are your favorite memoir-driven writers? Some people thought I just meant people that have written memoirs. I really meant people that are on Substack writing stories about their life, like what I do and what a lot of people do. So mostly focused on that type of writing, because I want to connect with those people and maybe have some of them be a guest post or have a guest post on my Substack. But also because I love reading those kind of stories. So I want, and I think what I'm going to do is now create a post based on some of the suggestions that I got and kind of check out all these people that people suggested. Because I did get a decent, for me, amount of people commenting on that and giving me some names. So that is one thing that I'm going to work on. And then I'm just going to continue writing, maybe collaborating with a couple people, but just trying to keep getting my stories out there. Maybe I'll do more lives if anybody wants me to do a live. I'm open to it. Because I actually think it's fun. I was so nervous about it. The first live I did was with Chris B. White Writes. Yes. And I almost said no, because I'm not a public speaker at all. And I don't really like being on video. But then I found out that when you're doing this, you're just talking to somebody like you're doing a Zoom. So it really, I found it really wasn't that scary. Yeah. And I do tend to go on tangents a little bit, but hey, that's just who I am. I got it from my dad. What can I say? So I enjoy them now. So I have this one with you. I just did one with Michelle Ray last week. I've got one with Marlena on the 26th. I have something else with you this week. Is that a podcast or is it also a video?
It's actually that's like what's that?
I have to know if I have to shower for that. It's like if there's no video, then I don't have to.
No, it's a video. That one is that's coming up. That's actually a writers on Substack talking about Substack, like basically what we just talked about,
Okay.
but from different perspectives on how to grow on Substack, what to do on Substack, what are we experimented, things like that. I know you couldn't do it the last time because something came up, and so I put you in that group. I know moving forward, I kind of want to do that once in a while, where I do bring a bunch of people in and do like I like to do it on Saturdays because it's probably much easier for me to do on Saturdays and just
Yeah.
talk about because I want to bring people from like UK and things like that. So
Oh, cool. Okay.
but I just did a summit that way. But as I'm working through this other project that I'm kind of like working with authors themselves, we've been kind of like talking about how we want to create an author summit. So what I plan on doing with that one is it's going to be on Mondays, same time, and I'll do it as a author summit where we kind of like sit down. There'll be like 4 or 5 of us on the call, and I guess I'll be the mediator, or the person trying to coordinate the conversation and start asking questions. And in that conversation, we'll be talking about the struggles of an indie author. Like, for example, a lot of people who are authors, like yourself, you've wrote stuff, but you haven't really published anything. I mean, you've done probably the heaviest part of the lift, but that's not all of it. It's how do you publish? Where do you publish? How do you create your cover? Why you create your cover? What's the purpose of creating a cover? Like, what do I need to do with that? Can I have an editor? Where's the editor? Where do I go find an editor?
Yeah, that's great.
The other thing is like beta readers. Like, how do we get beta readers to read my story so we can get reviews and uplift my stuff? And beta readers are they're not editors. They're just readers to do a review. So even if you give them a skimming of the story, just an outline, they can take that and write a review or whatever. And because they got a summary of it. And I don't mean either that or they do that. And one of the things that we're thinking about is helping people with their ebook and get that up and running so they can discount that heavy, and then so that they can get these beta readers and do that. The other thing is how do we get podcasters involved, and so that when there's a book launch, the author goes to all these podcasts for about a month, and they start going on their shows and they talk about their book and they promote their book, but also talk about because my big picture of this is my dream, is that there's like 35 million people on this Substack monthly that are active. 5 million are paid subscribers. So you still have close to 30 million unsubscribed. They don't buy, but they buy books. They're your readers. They're people. Readers just don't buy one book. They buy a library. Right. So how do we engage? Like, they're reading your stories, they're loving your stories, and they love this story, they love this story. That's why they subscribe to so many people. So how do we get them to buy a book, or how do we get them to engage more when it comes on the commercial side of stuff, where it helps an indie author to continue selling their books? I mean, and how do we help an indie author to sell more books? Vice versa. Like, how do we get these two entities to really hum together? Because if you get like 1% of that, which is over 300,000, I think it is, what like imagine this: an indie author gets 25 to 30 reviews. It immediately puts Amazon on notice and says, you have to start promoting this thing because they're getting this much attention so quickly. They got purchases, they got this, they got that. So there's a lot of verifications going on, and Amazon loves it because they want to promote you. And then they start promoting. There's no advertisement dollars in that, zero. So we're talking
I love all that, because I someday want to put all my stories together into, a book. Why not?
Yeah, and then the part of it, but this is all an ecosystem inside of Substack how do we organize all that? And for the last couple of months, and then probably that's where my attention has been lately, but for the last couple of months, we've been kind of like pounding that through a little bit. And some people didn't want nothing to do with it, which is fine. And
Mhm.
and we got down to a really small group. And I'd rather have the small group, and that's great. And on top of that is, Kathy mentioned, couldn't Substack have a store? And technically, yes, they could. But that's what I created my store, was to house a lot of these books.
Okay, cool.
And so that we can get, like, that's why I was doing these book funnels and all that kind of stuff. And the reason behind that was to promote the indie authors and then put it on my store, and hopefully it'll stay there forever.
Mhm.
And the links that the book funnels they're on, they can still promote. And there's no end date on those. So it's been kind of like,
We got a lot going on. Do you have a curtain back there where you have a clone or something working? 'Cause I don't know how you're doing all this with a
well,
full-time.
that's why sometimes I go dark, because I
Right.
need to
You have a lot going on.
out. Yeah, I got to close out. And sometimes I do force myself to take breaks,
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well,
But
that's a good idea. I love that.
yeah, so I think, Kathy, that's a great idea. Why doesn't they have a store? If they did, that could be the problem. I think the problem with that is that then become a publisher. See, Amazon is one of the largest publisher in the world,
Mhm.
and the
Hard to
concept of
argue
that,
that.
so they can get the promotions, they can get the books, all that. Probably team up with something like that to do that. But
Mhm.
my idea is that if we're able to create this publishing company that's nonprofit, no one owns anything, and gets going, the idea basically behind that, you could become like they could be the top publishers in the world, and you're
Oh,
supporting
so
authors.
you're doing it instead,
Yeah, yeah.
potentially.
On my Kathy asked, where is your store located on your page? So on my page, just give me 1 second, so I can look at it. If you go to the website page, it is located. It says the Pen Store. That's the one. So
I'll have to check that out.
yeah, here I'll put this.
Oh, thanks for restacking my circus monkey. Of course, I had to look at my app while you gave me a moment while you're doing that. I had to look at my Substack app because that's my addiction.
Yeah. So I got that going. And then the film project, we're actually launching June 1st, fundraising for it. So yes, that's correct. The Pen Store. So yeah. And then I was fighting with Shopify with their stupid checkout credit card stuff. Finally got that fixed. So I couldn't really promote it. I had to get everything fixed up. So it's been challenging the last couple of months. But yeah, just like you. I mean, like we're all walking a path, and if you look at the path, if you look behind you, it's never a straight arrow. It's always it's a zigzag, and it's curves, it's the hills, it's the downhill, it's the green grass, the rainbows, and sometimes the storms, sometimes it's hail and snow. I don't
Muddy
think
puddles.
What's that?
Muddy puddles.
Muddy puddles.
Sometimes.
Yeah, well, it's like quicksand sometimes.
Yeah. That's it, for sure.
I gotta. Do you ever stomp in in puddles? Like, do you ever jump in like a little kid?
Never wearing the right shoes.
Oh,
But I should do that.
yeah. It's actually kind of cool.
Incorporate play into our day. I
Yes.
actually have a little sister. I'm a big sister mentor, so I was with her Saturday. We went to the Botanic Garden, which she got bored after like 40 minutes. But we saw there was like a miniature train garden, which was really cool, and they had replicas of these buildings from all over the country, which was, different, train stops and things like that. But then we went to a playground, and I actually climbed on the jungle gym with her and went down the slide a couple times. And
Oh, wow.
she was, and I know I told her before, but she asked me how old I was. And I'm like, well, why don't you guess? And she's like, 26. It's like, no, but that's felt awfully good. But she's only 10. She can't tell age. But at least she didn't think like I'm some really old lady like I am. So then she's like, are you in your 30s? No, keep going. 40s? No, 50s. And
Oh,
so
boy.
then she's like, oh my God, I can't believe that you're that old. But no, playing with her and climbing up and doing like, I couldn't do a pull up on the monkey bars whatsoever. But it was just like that play, you know, you get back to, and that's the thing when you're not around kids all the time, you forget to do that. And I think making Substack more play as opposed to work, or as opposed to feeling like you're a circus monkey, I think that's the attitude I want to try to have.
I mean, it was fun when I didn't have the other things going on.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the problem, because I'm trying to find an out of those things and close those out so I'm not so distracted. But you know, that's why I have a lot of hobby. My other hobby is silver, collecting silver and coins, collective coins.
Oh, I thought you said silverware.
Silverware.
Stealing it from restaurants or something? I mean,
if silver can be melted, I would do that. Yeah, I'll take the silver. No, coins, collective coins.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, it was kind of cool. I got my son a coin, and it was like 1939, and basically says, if I come back and I say, do you have this, I'll give you the rest of it, and it's worth a few $1,000s.
Oh, wow. Okay. What do you think about the pennies that they're selling now? The 2025 pennies. I heard a commercial, I don't know.
Isn't that the last pennies that are being made?
Mm-hmm. They're selling like a roll of them for $10 or some crazy thing like that. Right off the bat. $10 roll of 50 pennies.
No.
Who's going to fall for that one? I don't know.
I got a bunch of them. I didn't buy that. I bought them for a penny.
Oh, that makes more sense.
You can go down to your post office, to your bank. I don't know. Some banks still have like rolls of pennies, and you could buy your roll of pennies.
I've got some pennies in a coin jar. I collect. I mean, I've just been putting a little jar.
So it's really important. It's really important to know the difference. They're uncirculated coins, and uncirculated coins have a higher value in them if they're circulated, because they could be damaged. But you can get a stack of coins and of pennies, but that's not the thing. Is you're looking for the imperfections in the coins. In some coins, it could be a $10 coin, it could be $100 coin, it could be $1,000 coin, it can be even a $13,000 coin. It all depends. It all depends on the coin and what the imperfections are. Because sometimes they get double stamps, and if they're double stamps, or there's a misprint, or there's a kind of like when it strikes, it hits differently. And then there's also different mints. So each different mint also has a significant importance, because not all mints make all the coins. So if they're making out of that coin, mince meat? No, it's not mince meat. It's the mints. Jeez.
Let's make coin collecting fun.
Let's make mess meats.
I think you have a new show here now.
No. I'm not. I'm an amateur when it comes to that. There's a lot of people who know more than I do. I'm just an amateur. I have my stuff. I got some old money from the from Nazism.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I found them and I got them. That was kind of cool. Some Mussolini's coins and dollars. I got some of that because I'm a historian, so I love history, and that's part of history.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got some old silver. Yeah.
Cool. All
Yeah.
right.
It's a collection.
I should have
Yeah.
told you about the old newspapers that I came across, but they like headlines.
Oh yeah.
And I ended up just, I don't know what I did with them.
You
I
talk.
donated. I don't know.
I still have old newspapers because I was in the newspaper business for a while before 2008, and that was had some major ones. Like I think I still have like the 9/11 one.
Okay.
I think Princess Diane was another one. There were some major ones I picked up along the way that I kept because I thought that'd be a cool headline. The problem is these were local newspaper companies that probably didn't like they weren't the New York Times like that. So
right.
I don't think those will have any value. But yeah,
But you've got them, so you can frame them, put them in your office.
I kept them because I wanted to give to my kids, but
Oh yeah.
I don't even think my kids will care. Like, what's this for? Why do you carry this for so many years, Dad? I thought it was so important to you.
Oh, geez. My dad used to clip stuff out of his he was a Christian Scientist, and he got the Christian Science Monitor, which I guess is, was a really good publication. But he'd like clip articles and send them to me, and I'd look at it and throw it in the garbage. I wish I would have saved them. No, I don't think I needed to save those, but
No,
yeah.
those are yeah. The older generation, the boomers, used to do that a lot. They would actually clip some stuff out and hand it to you. Oh, I thought you'd be interested in reading this. And I'm like, yeah, well, okay, thank you.
Yesterday's news.
Or the TV guide, or the TV guide.
Oh yeah.
People actually saved them. I had no clue why we just saved them. They were like $3 a week or something like that. And
We had a subscription to that. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think
they're probably worth something.
Yeah. Readers. I actually went to Reader's Digest. Wasn't that in Connecticut? Because I went up that way and I saw them, and yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah. So what's next on the agenda other than what's coming up? Anything?
I think I'll be writing I've got like boxes of old photos from my family, and also just my own photos that I want to organize. And one of the things that I'm going to write about is different hairstyles I've had throughout the years. But I've been really focused on I cut my own bangs.
Yeah.
Which they look terrible because they got damaged. I actually had a note about that. It was like a hair emergency. But this is not what my hair is supposed to look like right now. Anyway, that's something I'm going to post at some point with all these pictures. Like my mom had to cut all my hair off when I was a little girl. I had hair down to my waist, and I like to chew gum.
Uh-huh.
And I guess I had a wad of gum that I went to bed with on more than one occasion, and it would end up in my hair. Thank God I didn't choke on it. But she finally got so frustrated, she just cut all my hair off. And so I had like a boy haircut done by my mother, and people thought I was a boy for years. A boy, but so that's one of the little stories behind it. And then my high school, because I had unruly hair and I didn't know what to do with it. My mom was of no help. She didn't help me with fashion or anything to do with myself. And so I had all this hair and I was skinny. So one girl in health class told me that I reminded her of a pin with a big ball on top because I was so skinny, and I had all this hair that interrupted her vision of the future. So there's some really good photos out there. So I'm going to organize those and put those in a post. And then hopefully other people will share their photos as well. There's some doozies, I'll tell you.
You got the 1980s haircut? Oh, yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't even call it a haircut.
Those
I don't know it had no rhyme or reason to it. It just was hair on my head just doing its thing. I lived in a farm town. I had no style. My mom was busy reading novels. She would read 5 novels a week.
Wow.
She wasn't paying attention to me at all. I've got a lot of resentment. You'll be hearing more stories about my mom.
That's cool.
Days to come.
Oh my God. I'm gonna read that one, the hair story. That's funny.
I'll let you know when it comes out.
Okay.
But yeah, if anybody knows of any of your favorite memoir driven writers on Substack, please let me know, because I want to be reading them myself and also put together a post about who these people are.
Okay. So you're on Facebook. Is that your private?
Did I say Facebook?
No. I'm saying you're on Facebook.
Yeah.
You're on Substack.
Yes. I'm on Instagram.
You're on Instagram.
My Instagram is the same as what it is on Substack, which is Lynn J. Broderick.
Okay. And your Facebook, is that a personal Facebook or is that your public page?
I have both. They're both Lynn J. Broderick. So
okay.
I also have a page out there that's got 5,000 followers that was from my green days. I think it's I count for my earth, but I don't do anything with that, but I need to somehow, I wish I could merge them. My personal page or sell it if it's worth anything. Do you want it?
No.
$1 a name.
$1. No, because that's not the right audience.
I know.
You could sell it to somebody who has a green initiative thing.
Well, I mean, you could change it to whatever you want.
No, the problem is that if
people want to read about your stuff. I know they came there for the green stuff.
So what's the one thing you've taken away so far in year 2026? Like
what have I taken away?
Yeah, what's the lesson learned?
Stop rushing. Stop being a circus monkey. A rushing circus monkey. Slow down and find balance.
Fair enough. And with that said, I want to thank everybody for commenting. And I'm sorry I didn't get to everybody. Diana, Nicole, Jay, there's a whole bunch of other people. Thank you. Appreciate it. Lynn, as like always. Always you're fun to have on, and I don't know why you think you couldn't do this. So,
well, I just realized I have to drink a lot. No, I just have to. I just have to.
Dummies. No, just kidding.
I'm really wasted, and so that's how I get through. No, I'm not. I just had my kombucha and some water. That's it.
With that said, thank you very much. I think you're going to see the next post, hopefully around on Wednesday, if I can get it out. And no podcast this Monday. So go enjoy your life.
But we have something this week. What day is that? You and me and some other people.
Yeah, I don't know.
You didn't come prepared, John. Come on.
What are you? It's kind of like a hiatus type situation. So
it's all good. It's all keep an eye out for it.
Yes. Anyways, we appreciate everybody coming on here. Our goal is always trying to help you out and be a better writer. And this is the reason why we do these shows. And so, Lynn, thank you. Lynn, thank you very much. Have a great day, everybody.
All right. Take care.